Hello and welcome to SML Division Showdown. I'm Prime Time. I'm just the host today. And hey, we've got three division guys. We're missing KJ. He fought valiantly to make it in, but something happened. His internet sucks. Tennessee internet. What do you got to say? Hey, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it with Mike FML. Mike, we're going to talk about your card first. You were actually rated the second best guy in the division, but bronze development. Mike, what's your thoughts on your card overall?
My thoughts are the system is clearly rigged against me. You have the well-known, most despicable owner in the entire SML in my division, and I am strongly of the belief that his opinions weighed me down and kept me, where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair, but it's something I'll live with. I don't stand by it, but I do understand this is not necessarily under my control. I think there are things working against me that just, I can only do so much.
Now, you're 74 overall, pretty much like the Carson Wentz type of rating there. Woods, what do you think about Mike's rating? And he came out 3 or 4 points under you. Do you think that's accurate?
I have Mike rated higher in certain categories. I would almost say that he should have been right there with me, or maybe right at a 76. I didn't have any issue with where he was at, but I thought he could have been a little bit higher. If not 76, then 75.
Mm-hmm. And Fig, what do you think about Mike? Who, again, he finished, I think, I'm not good at math, but like 12 points higher than you.
I think he should have been higher than me. I think a bit too higher. And I think Woods is kind of in his own category, in my opinion. He should be definitely first. I don't think Woods is ranking himself there. I think he's the clear number one in this division.
Okay. So, and Mike, real quick, you said in chat, hey, your team building maybe should have been higher. Do you still stand by that 77 overall team building should be higher, and what would it be?
I absolutely do. I don't need anything outrageous. I think at least above 83-ish would probably be fair. I don't think I ever do anything that is outlandish. I think I'm consistently adding talent, and I think that more often than not, I don't make mistakes in that aspect. So a little bit low on that front, but that's okay. Like I said, there are forces working against me. I can't fight the system sometimes.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Now, Woods, not only were you rated the highest overall player, but you were given a star dev. The highest dev in the league. What's your thoughts? Are you high, low, right? What do you think?
I think that's. I probably wouldn't argue if I was 75 or 76. The issues that, or my lower rated grades, I didn't have a problem with because I do have a very horrible problem running the ball. My team building, I took maybe a little bit of an exception with because I don't usually trade a lot of guys. If I do, that was 2 cycles ago, but I don't trade. I usually like to try and build through the draft, and free agency is always a crapshoot. But I didn't have too much of an issue with it at all.
Mm-hmm. Now, Fig, what do you think about Woods' rating? Again, highest rated player in the division and star dev.
I think that's pretty accurate. I feel like I should have got a star dev too. I got the ability to pump myself up sometimes. I know it usually doesn't work out that way, but I think Woods overall, nothing really jumped out as me as kind of what I think I rated him. Team built, like everything's kind of at least somewhat in line where how I had him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Mike Woods, again, I'm going to repeat myself here, but best player in the division by ratings, and he's 3 points higher than you and a better dev than you. Do you think that's right?
I mean, given him star development, so to speak, quote unquote, is like giving a 28-year-old rookie star dev. There's only so much higher somebody can go, so giving him that sort of thing doesn't seem to make sense to me. But I mean, again, what can you do? I'm working against the system. You see me and Fig being held down, Woods being pushed up. It's just a fight we can't win.
No, that's interesting. Good point there. Sometimes you see these guys like a Brandon Whedon type come in and a little older, long in the tooth. Fig, 62 overall, 48 team building, 53 clutch gene, bronze development. What is this right or wrong?
The way I was ranking everyone was based on the post-blip cycle, like that time in this division. I think my team building was actually kind of generous. There's almost nothing I did with the Patriots that have been good as far as team building goes. I think my clutch team was kind of under. Like, I ended Mike's playoff bid. I think that was the first season. In a close game, I came through in the clutch with a big pick late in that game, and he didn't. I feel like my clutch, that was the one thing I was kind of disappointed in. I think when I get in those tight moments, I usually come through more than not in those clutch moments.
Yeah. No, I get it. You're with your 15% win percentage. More often than not, in the tight games, you find a way. You find a way to win. No, just kidding. So
in those tight ones, gotta get there.
So Mike, what do you think about Fig, who's been kind of a thorn in your side? 62 overall, is that right?
Well, I mean, he'd be X Factor if it just countered games against me. I mean, I can't beat the dude recently. Had no big issues last year. I mean, it was pretty even split. But the counter argument to his argument against the clutch thing is the fact that you lose just as many of those tight games as you win, man. I mean, if something goes wrong, it snowballs, and there you go, you're done. So, I think if we're looking at like 70 as normal, as average, I would say that you're probably below average. I'd say maybe in the 60 range. So maybe you're a little bit getting underrated there, just a tad bit. But at the same time, you don't have a lot to stand on. So I think that it's fair, but I understand the gripe.
Woods, what's your thought on Fig Newton?
Out of season one, he got me a division title. He got me in the playoffs. So I mean that alone to at least put him at a 68 overall. Anything he does against the Dolphins is great. But the one thing I wouldn't disagree with is team building. I don't know if that's because it is his home team, the Patriots, and sometimes you just think with your heart and not with your head as far as the team goes. So I mean, I don't know. It's part of the reason why I don't want to grab the Jaguars, because I probably won't make any decisions based brain-wise instead of just doing it heart-wise. I would put him a bit higher.
And KJ Slander, he's not on the show right now, but we're going to talk about him anyway in case he rewatches this. Mr. GQ himself, 64 overall, just kind of roller coaster of ratings. Mike, what's your thoughts on KJ?
I think KJ's card's pretty accurate. I think he's, surprising enough, if he's ever the type that could figure out how to consistently play well, I think he might be better than all of us, just because he has those roots to be a decent player. But he still has no idea what he's doing in offense for the most part. I think he's just throwing stuff at the wall and see what happens. And unfortunately, last week it happened enough for him to beat me. So, can't talk too much, but I think he's one of the more underrated team-building owners. I was very, very gracious in my ratings there because I don't see him making mistakes. I see him constantly adding talent. I don't see him, doing the things that other Tennessee owners would do, trading, great players to owners that don't have good assets to trade for them. So he does a good job through the draft. Doesn't really miss on picks for the most part outside of maybe the quarterback. But, I think KJ is rated pretty fairly, and everybody can watch out 3 years in the future if he ever figures out how to do it consistently.
Woods, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Mike. KJ has this season. KJ's been tough, and like I said, he had me on the ropes so much of our first game. It was 14-2, it was 14-5, and then in the fourth quarter, it just collapsed. He just started throwing everything to my defenders, and I got lucky and won that one. 24-point fourth quarter, but I mean his defense was outstanding, and like Mike said, his team building is to me is underrated because I mean he gets high draft picks, but he still does do pretty good things in free agency. He'll get a maybe an 80 overall guy that people won't even look at that helps them out or helps them defensively. So I think KJ is a bit underrated, especially this season. But the rating, I'd have to agree with for the most part.
Mm-hmm. And Fig Newton, we're all looking forward to your opinion on KJ.
I feel like his pass sequence is like really underrated. Like anytime I face him, I feel like he's always taking away my first two reads. Mm-hmm. And when I get to my third read, I usually don't get there. I'm usually, don't check it up. I feel like against him, I'm constantly having a battle trying to figure out who's going to be open. Mm-hmm. I think the one thing he needs to work on, like, kind of his decisiveness. Like, he kind of, maybe he doesn't grasp his playbook as good as he should. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's one area he's really lacking. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I would say like the IQ, like the offensive and defensive IQ is kind of the main area that he needs to work on.
Now, that's good point of view there. Now, KJ got selfless, Woods got enforcer, Mike got safety valve, and Fig Newton, you got gambler. Does anybody have anything to say about these abilities that were handed out, or any like, hey, this guy shouldn't have got this, and I'm glad I got this, or anybody have any comments on abilities? Kind of an open mic here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what options were out there, but if there's something like a presser or something like that, you could give that to Woods. He openly said anything that Fig can do to negatively impact me is showing is the systematic suppression that I have to deal with. It's ongoing, it's never ending, and I think he needs to be labeled a little bit more appropriately.
Woods, what do you think?
Probably got everything right. I don't know if Mike should have safety valve. Maybe elusive or anything like that, because he's being very elusive with how he's attacking me right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
I think it'd be pretty straightforward.
He's rejecting my love. I've been doing this since we discussed this at team draft. I'd love to have you in my division. We've never been division mates. I love you, and all he's done is just he's elusive in how he wants to cement our relationship here, and I don't know why that is.
Interesting. Fig, are you happy with Gambler?
I think that's kind of the thing that made the most sense for me. I think when you put it out there, you said my off-season moves are kind of gambling, which 100% true. You also take passing. I mean, I throw a lot of picks, but my game plan really isn't to gamble. Like, if you watch me play, I'm going for those short touchdowns. Like, that's kind of most of my game plan until it falls apart, which usually, halfway through it falls apart. Usually my main thing isn't to really gamble.
Yeah.
I'm usually trying to just kind of get, a couple yards at a time. It's kind of my mindset.
Well, it's good to hear that you actually have a game plan. I think that actually surprised some people here. But another thing.
I beat you before. I'll do it again.
Hey, you never know. I'm never going to say never. So, do you guys? We got what? Probably two seasons left, maybe three. I don't know. I'd have to do the math. Who's going to win the most division titles to close out the final 3 seasons?
I think 1-1-1.
I'll go with 1 Woods, 1 me, and 1 Mike.
Wow. Woods, what do you think?
Been clamoring for an X-Factor quarterback forever. I finally got one that bails me out a lot, so I'll say I may win 2 more, and including this season, and then last one may go to either Mike or Fig.
Mike?
He's going to win 2 more, the next 2, because he's got a stranglehold on the division right now. He's using his power to sway the public opinion and also the private impact of the game. So he's going to keep that going for at least 2 more, but I'm going to snipe that last one. Once Trevor is through with his therapy, can start throwing the ball accurately and not making the mistakes that he does, we're going to come for that last one.
And one final question I have for you guys. Look, at the end of the day, the AFC East is kind of looked at as, hey, I hope I play them in the playoffs if I don't get the bye week. It's the AFC East. Woods, What do you think about that?
I don't like that because, and I say this a lot, each one of us have, and I'm not saying this is both smoke, but I think each one of us has the capability of beating anybody in the playoffs. I mean, whether it's just getting around two or, hell, even making a run to the title game, each one of us has it in us. It's just sometimes, luck of the draw doesn't work out that way. I can't get away from anybody in the AFC North, and I can't seem to beat them in the playoffs, but miraculously I beat Bomber in the regular season. I don't know. It's either Q or Bomber, and I lose to both, and sometimes they're close and sometimes they're not. But, I mean, I think any one of us can be dangerous if we get to the playoffs.
Mike, what do you think?
Well, I mean, Woods has history in the playoffs of beating quality users. He eliminated Bomber surprisingly last cycle. So It's not outlandish to think that, somebody could pull the upset there. It's always going to be an upset, and that's fair. I think we all are understanding and realistic in terms of our skill level compared to our peers. But, kind of mirroring what Woods said there, I think everybody has a shot going into that game. I don't think it's something where somebody's instantly eliminated. We all have quality wins on our Madden resumes this cycle. It's, nothing that can be disputed. It's fact, it happened. Obviously, playoffs are a different situation, but at the same time, any week, man, that's why we play.
Fig, what do you think?
I think everyone should go into playing anyone in this division like they can win. But you want to at least be prepared. You never know. The gambler might pull one out. I mean, for a season, like 8 cycles ago, whenever that was, I beat Grams that first round in the playoffs. So anything's possible. I don't think anyone was expecting me to win that game. So I think they should think they're gonna win, but you never know. I mean, I think the last time Woods was in, I think it was at least competitive. So you never know.
So will the AFC East win a playoff game?
No.
We got one in us.
No.
We'll sneak one in.
Woods?
Come on, guys, you gotta believe. Mike, me and you, we can be the Prime and Matt. I don't care which one of us takes the Prime role. We can do this together.
Wow.
I will not ignore the dastardly things you've done to me. I can't forget. I'm sorry. I can't forget it.
Wow.
Maybe next time. We'll try again next time.
You're in this too. We gotta get one playoff win this cycle. We can do it.
What, 5 chances left? Probably 3. Three chances
probably
left.
3 chances left.
I got 3 left. At least one win.
You never know.
Whoever gets that loss, we get to mark them for the rest of the cycle.
You guys are. Does anybody honestly think they can beat one of Prime, Matt, Bomber, or Q? Those are the guys that you're gonna have to play in every playoff game. It's gonna be one of those guys. Are you gonna beat them? Probably not.
I've never
You're gonna get a lot of
I've never beat you, but I don't know. I'll always go in thinking I have a shot. So I'll put it.
Of course, we got a shot, but you were asking for direct answers, and it's like I'm going to be the one that's right with the 0. I'm going to be the guy, the 1 out of 3 guys that got it correct because I said no because it's not going to happen.
I can take anybody.
Yeah, it could help us out. You never know.
I'm guaranteeing a win.
Let's go. Woods guarantees a win.
If I made the playoffs,
I'm guaranteeing. I'm winning one division.
I'm going to have to keep Woods out of the playoffs just to help make him not look stupid on that.
Oh, man, this is good. Hey, guys, that was the AFC East Showdown. Woods, Mike, Big, and KJ, who is MIA. Guys, any closing statements? Yeah.
I miss KJ. Good dude. He was
I
really missing his influence here. I would replace any of these guys with KJ every time.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I've got one final thought. So Mike and I are playing like right after this game. He's saying he's getting at least 320 yards passing. I guarantee to stop him down to 200 yards. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go, guys. Give him a good show.
There you go.
Figs by 7.
Figs by 7. Wow.
I'm a shit show.
AFC East, that's one of the most dynamic divisions in the SML. Those are the guys doing it. I'm Prime. Everybody, thanks for listening. And until next time, we got the NFC West coming up. Stay tuned, boys. SML moving on. Thanks.